Hello and welcome to the third devlog. In this video I will talk about map generation. Those of you who watch the video and are also developers will find the thing I say very trivial, but in this video I want to explain it also for those who are not. So, the maps are procedurally generated according to settings that change from map to map. The first thing to do is set the size of the map. In this example it will be 4800 pixels. Then you create the first data grid map, which will be the one that decides the shape of the map and where you can move. Each cell of the grid will be 32 by 32 pixels and can contain either floor or void value. Floor represents the cells where I can move and void represents the cells I cannot. I take as an example the forest map. So start from the center of the map, you choose a radius and start moving the center of the circle randomly. In this example I set 8 direction. Each time the center moves, first it chooses one of the 4 cardinal directions, up, down, left and right. Then there is a possibility that it moves towards the set direction. This is repeated a set amount of times for direction. In this image you can see the result. You have to play a lot with the settings to find the shape you like the best. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Then I create other 2 grids. Those ones contain information about the railway and the roads. Each cell is 96 pixels large. For the railroad it's very simple, it just creates a horizontal line. There are no curves as it would be really difficult to create the train sprite while it curves in 2 dimensions. For the road instead we can create what we like the best. Then I created a grid named Grid Floor 2 that contains the information for the terrain variations, to make it much more beautiful to see. There are several variants as you can see from the image. Adding new ones is very simple and I will improve them in the future. So you start iterating each cell of the map. For each cell there is a possibility to start creating a terrain variant. You choose the size of the variant and then you go again to iterate each cell from the starting one and decide whenever to put the variant or not. This is necessary to create some complexity instead of a boring square, as you can see. At this point I create another grid that contains the information about the water. The process is very similar of the floor 2. Okay, now we have all the information needed to start tiling the ground. So I start by filling the map with the main tile. Then draw the variant of the terrain following the information stored in the grid 2. And then I proceed with the auto-tiling of the walls. How does it work? Well, it's very simple, because it depends on the place where you find the cell in comparison to its nearby cell. Then you can decide which tile to put. So to do this you have to iterate each cell of the map, and for each of them you have to check the value of the nearby cell. Let's take this corner as an example. You can see that the cell below and the one on the left are free, while the one above and the one on the right are occupied. So I'm gonna put this tile. This process must be done for each different tile that my set has. In the end you get something like this. Now we can fill the map with building. This part is a bit complicated and I hope to be able to explain it well in English. My intention is to create buildings that make sense, like a small village or an outpost. So I can just put things at random. Since the maps are procedurally generated, you can put the buildings manually. The only solution GameMaker 2 offers is to create a surface. You can imagine the surface as a drawing sheet. Each building or object is represented by a different color. In this way you can create something like this, which will become this. As you can imagine, it is a pain to work in this way. It's all very cumbersome. Also, due to the fact that if I have to modify something, I have to check its color first to understand what object it is. The result, however, is very satisfactory. The surfaces can also be used to create maps, as I did for the industrial area map, as I wanted all the buildings to be close by. For example, in this image, the red tone makes floor the ground, while the black is the street. In this way, all the buildings are close. Finally, I can generate the environment, and here I can put things at random. The last step is to adjust the map if you need it. I show you, for example, the city map, even if it's only a prototype. Here the adjustments are used to put the street lamps and road sign, and set the parking areas. So, the video ends here. I hope I've explained myself well enough, and see you next time. Bye.